Hi guys, and welcome along to lesson 11 of my programming, the basic computer programming language. Okay, take a little bit of a breather now. I'm not going to teach you any more new functions or line statements today. What we're going to do, I thought we'd take a little bit of a break and show you a program which incorporates one or two of the features we've learned in the past, put them together into a useful little program. Okay, this is just a basic one. I've outlined the description in the tutorial on my site. I'll put the link in the description as usual, so you can view it in full, in step-by-step glory if you like, and see how it works. But I'll just run through it briefly here for you. We've got the program listed here. As you can see, it's quite a large program, this one. It's the largest one we've tackled to date. And what it does is it asks the user to input a unit of conversion, and it will convert from metric to imperial or vice versa. Okay, what we're going to do is to show you basically how this works. Obviously the first few lines shouldn't be a problem to you, just basically printed input lines. What we're doing is reading data from our data tables, which are at the bottom of the program here. So these are basically the descriptions of what we can do. It'll be more self-explanatory when you see the program running as to how it works. So you'll get more of a grip on it when you see that working in a few moments. And it will convert from. We print what it can convert from, i.e., what the user can input. They can input inches to millimeters, millimeters to inches, feet to meters, meters to feet, yards to meters, meters to yards, miles to kilometers, and kilometers to miles. So it will accept any of those inputs, nothing else. Okay. So what we're doing is creating a loop initially. Well, we've created that's the initial loop there to print out the units of conversion. What this loop does here is it reads 8 times, because we've got 8 separate conversions we can do. If you count these up, there are 8 of them, and it will count up to 8 of them. And what it does, after you've input what you need to input, it will actually see if you're inputting your information into $, and $. I've used $, there. Please enter unit to convert from. F seems to go pretty well with from, and unit to convert to. T seems to go pretty well with T. What it's doing here, it's reading data from the data tables and comparing it with what the user has typed in $, and $. Hope I haven't lost you there. It's creating a loop 1 to 8 because we have 8 possibilities. Okay, it's reading the first pair of data. Again, all this is explained step by step in the tutorial, so if you're not quite catching it, refer back to the text tutorial I've put on the site. What we're doing here is we're seeing if $, which is what you've asked to convert from, is equal to $, which would be the from in the data table, and if it does, it then checks if $, which is the unit you're converting to, is equal to $, which is the conversion to factor in the data table. If it is, then what it does, it just lets flag equal A. A would be the position in the data table where these two values were equal, i.e. yards and meters. Wherever it found yards and meters in the data table, then flag would be equal to that position. Okay, so we had flag position 5 in there. If we had flag 5, that would mean the 5th set of 2 values would equal, i.e. pair of values, would equal yards, meters. Okay, it comes out of the loop and it checks to see if flag is greater than 0. Now, if flag is not greater than 0, then it can't possibly have found a match, because if it had found a match, flag would be equal to whatever A is, and A can only be from 1 to 8. So if flag is still 0, then there's been no match. So what it does then, it prints out that the conversion is not supported. Please ensure that the entered units exactly as printed, etc. And it will end the program at that point. The next part of the program, we start another loop which is from 1 to flag. Bear in mind, if flag was 5, as in the example I've just given you, then the loop would go from 1 to 5. and the end result of that, because it's reading C 5 times, the last value in C when it exits the loop would be the 5th position in the table. So C would equal whatever the 5th position in the table was. Now if we have the data lined up exactly as it should be in the data tables, which is why it's important to get the data lined up when you're doing something like this, to make sure that there's no errors in the data whatsoever. You've got to be very, very precise. Then when it jumps out, it will ask for a quantity to be converted, okay, and we will enter that into Q. We'll then do a simple error check to make sure that Q is not less than or equal to 0, i.e. it's a positive number. We can't convert negative numbers. If excuse me, if it is 0 or a negative number, then it immediately jumps to line 260, which will say please enter a positive value only, and it will loop back to 210. It will jump back to 210, which will again ask you for the quantity. So in other words, it's only going to accept a quantity of a positive value. When that criteria has been met, i.e. Q is not less than 0 or equal to 0, then the next instruction will be executed, and what that does is it lets answer value answer ANS equal Q times C, which is the formula for the conversion. Okay, the conversion formula. Then line 240 simply prints Q space $, because it's the unit that the user put in, converted to, make sure you put spaces at the end so it's not all crammed together, $, that's the units for the to value, and then is, and then of course answer, so it looks quite tidy. You'll see how all that works anyway in a few seconds. That's about it. We've got the data down here, which all lines up. So we've got the first pair we've got are inches, millimeters. Sorry, this is the first 7 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are the ones that are initially printed out, so that the user, so that's up to there, yeah, all those up to there will be printed out in lines 30 to 60 in the heading. These are your data pairs, so we've got inches to millimeters, millimeters to inches, feet to meters, meters to feet, yards to meters, meters to yards, miles to kilometers, and kilometers to miles. So the first actual pair of data that you will see will be inches to millimeters. Okay, and the conversion for that, which is pair number 1 in the data table, because those have already been read and printed out, will be 25.4, the first value in the data there. The second value in the data there, this one, corresponds to millimeters to inches. The third value, which would be that one, would correspond to feet to meters, so on and so forth all the way through the data table. Okay, then let's see this running in action, shall we? See what happens. Okay, so as you can see, we've come up with, you can choose from the following units: inches, millimeters, feet, meters, yards, miles, kilometers. You can convert from inches to millimeters, millimeters to inches, feet to meters, meters to feet, yards to meters, meters to yards, miles to kilometers, and kilometers to miles. Please enter unit to convert from. Okay, so first of all, I think what we'll do is we'll enter feet in here and see what we can, how the program actually runs. So we've entered feet. Now it says please enter unit to convert to. Okay, so we're going to convert feet to meters. Well, we can only convert feet to meters anyway in this example, so we'll type in feet to meters. Okay, now it's asking us enter the quantity. How many feet do we want to convert to meters? Okay, so let's put 3 in, because 3 is pretty close to a meter, and we should get an answer. Enter quantity, convert 3, and it's come up with 3 feet converted to meters is 0.9144. So as you can see, the program works with the correct values put in. So what we'll try and do now is run it, just to show you some error messages in there. Okay, let me think what we can put in here. So we'll go yards, So we'll enter yards in there, and then we'll enter kilometers in there, and it shouldn't accept this. Sorry, that conversion is not supported. Please ensure that you entered the units exactly as printed. So as you can see, it won't accept anything that is not listed in the description. Okay, we'll run it one more time, and this time what we'll try and do is put a negative quantity in to show you that actual, I'm sure you're all aware by now that it will work, but we'll give it a bash and just to show you that it does actually work. Okay, so this time we'll go yards, and we'll go meters. So we'll want yards to meters, and then it will ask us how many to convert, so we'll put 0 in. Okay, and see what it comes up with. And as you can see, it immediately prints out, please enter a positive value only. Okay, so we're stubborn, we'll try -3. But again, it's not having -3, it will only accept a positive value. So that part of the error checking routine actually works. Okay, so we'll put in a positive value, we'll put 3 in then. And we should get the answer. 3 yards converted to meters is 2.7432. So as you can see, guys, the program's working fine. As usual, as I said, the link will be in the description. You can play about with this program via the link in the description and access this site if you wish, where you can alter it. I've put a few ideas in there for those of you who want to try and modify it a bit, or for more advanced students who wish to do a little bit more. I'll be making more of these tutorials very soon, so if you like them, please rate them and favourite them, and please subscribe to our channel. Let everyone know how much you like them, and as I say, I'll be making some more in the future. Well, I think that's about it for now, guys. Take care and hope to see you soon. Bye for now.